So let's just talk about a couple of things around team. Number one, our relationships with all people around the business literally dictate the success or failure of the business. Whether you're a people person or not, okay? The way you manage those relationships, be it your staff, your suppliers, your clients, your partners, are going to dictate whether that business is a success or not. Now, there are occasions where a business can be successful, but people are miserable. That will eventually implode. So in other words, there are successful businesses like financially, but it's really not a nice place to work. Some people that are employed, it's been proven through studies, like if you have a job where the working environment's really nice, and you go to another job which pays you a lot more money because you think that's important, but the working environment's not nice, you'll go back to that job. That's what you'll want to do, even if you earn less money. Because actually that's more important than the money. We don't get that. We don't get that. For you to actually have your values served and to be treated with dignity is far more important to you than how much money you earn. We've been conditioned to think, because what do? We chase money. We think that's the solution to everything. And we've got to get, it doesn't work like that. So there's no more room for this. The manager of my father's business when I worked for him many years ago in Durban, he said, like, employees will only do as much as, as they need to get paid, and employers will only pay as much as they need to keep a person from leaving. And it wasn't his philosophy, by the way, just to be clear, but it was something that he had done research on. And we realize in many corporate environments, this is the truth. People just, it's a job. There's no affiliation or loyalty to that business. So we can't afford to do that, because in those same environments you can hire 40 people to do a task, and if like 25% of them are useless, the 25% of them will probably overperform and make up for the 25% that are useless. In small business, we don't have that luxury. If we hire one person and they're wrong, the whole thing collapses and it becomes a massive liability to us. So we cannot build. A lot of you inadvertently, you think when you hire people or you pay people that because we pay you, you owe it to us to be a perfect employee. Because we pay you. I mean, ironically, you pay them peanuts sometimes, which I still find the funniest thing. Oh, I earn 60 grand a month, I pay you 6 grand a month. But you must work as hard as I work, So for some of you, that's partly the problem. If you're going to pay 6 grand a month, you're going to get somebody that's worth 6 grand a month. So really have your expectations checked out, right? But at the end of the day, we cannot run a business based on the philosophy that we pay people, therefore they must be good, or they must work, or they must do what they're supposed to do. That's not how it works, and that's not how ultimate success is even created. It's just not. So how is it? By the way, so a number of studies have been done around what incentivizes people. And on a combination of studies, we looked at a few of them, it averaged around number 8 out of 10. So when you looked at the things that incentivize people to work harder or to do better jobs, money was number 8 out of 10. But the first thing an employee will tell you, like, Lucy, I need you to work harder. What do you need? Well, pay me more, Because instinctively, that's what we think, because we're all conditioned to think that solves all the problems. Doesn't do anything. A lot of you have incentivized your staff before and really offered them good incentives, even raised their salaries or given them commissions, and they didn't work any harder than they worked when they weren't incentivized. The only person that may do that is a person that has a high value on money and wealth. So their value gets served by earning more money, so they'll understand that exchange. Most people, I walked into a company years ago, it was an insurance company, and they had 600 employees. It was a small insurance company with 600 employees. And I sat with the CEO, and I had this development product that we had online. This was before we launched Entrepreneur at today. And my partner was pretty well connected. That's how the meeting happened. And he agreed to buy it. But he said, Brian, it's not going to make any difference in my business. I think he was buying it more because my partner was his friend. But like it was a low cost for him, and he thought it would help. Like some of the 600 employees might get some benefit out of it, but it's not going to make any difference to his bottom line. And I said, why do you say that? He said, well, you know how we decide how much money we're going to make every year? And I said, obviously not. I didn't say that, but I mean, like, how would I know? He says, well, we get all of our staff, which are mostly salespeople, obviously in insurance. And we bring them into a room every year. At the end of every year, we bring them in and we find out, and he says we mostly have to bring the spouses in because it's amazing how many spice do not have a clue. So, I could be sexist and say it's the men, because for some weird reason, women seem to, in relationships, have more control of the money in terms of, understanding what it costs for the life, for their family to live. I clearly didn't find any of those women because I always had to take control of it, which was probably not always the best thing as an individual. But it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant nowadays. Somebody takes, hopefully, the responsibility to a degree. So he says we often bring the spouse in and then we ask them together, how much do you need to live? How much do you need to maintain your lifestyle for the next year? And we tally this all up. So with 600 people, we tally this up. And then we have this big amount. And then we figure how much insurance has to be sold in order for that amount to be met. And that's how we determine how much money we're going to make. And he says 10% of them will completely underperform and won't anywhere hit near their targets, and they'll really struggle as individuals. But another 10% will overperform and make up for the 10% that other poor. The bunch in the middle will earn what they need. And I thought, that sucks. Then I found out afterwards it's so freaking true. Remember the standard thing? People go to their standard. They don't go beyond their standard. They don't go beyond their standard. So even though they consciously go, I want more, they won't work any harder. As long as their standard's met. If they're below the standard, then they'll kick ass to find a way to get back to the standard. Or they'll lessen their standard sometimes in severe cases. So he wasn't far wrong, but of course that's a culture where it's just about earning money, right? There's no, I bet in those people didn't exactly love the business. It was just an environment where people were employed and could make money. You can't do that. That business could actually sort of survive. I don't think it did in the long run, so that probably tells you something. But you can't actually do that as a small business owner because you will F up right from the beginning. So money is not the incentive. Work environment, appreciation, recognition, non-monetary reward, security, personal growth, alignment of values are all more important than money. They will tell you money is the most important, but that's actually the truth. And it differs. This list was just taking some of the examples of the stuff that was above the monetary being the number one incentive for us to move forward. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Starts from within, just like we say with meaning, the relationship with yourself is the most important. In culture, because this is the word I want you to get to understand, the relationship with the company is the most important. You need to live your values, which we've discussed yesterday. You'll hear a bit more now. You need to have a reason why you do what you do. And you need to be able to express to your clients and stakeholders who you are. Now, here's the thing. Your friends know who you are. Okay? Because friends just look at what you do, and they are far better at judging your character than you are. You've all got friends that go, I'm so reliable, but they're late for everything. And all of you as friends know, he says he's so reliable. This bugger actually believes it. But when somebody says, what's this person like, you don't exactly go, he's so reliable because he said it. You go, well, he's never on time for anything, so he's clearly reliable with that. You all got that, right? And in friends, like I said earlier, it's okay. You'll put up with a lot of stuff for your buddies and your friends and your family because you're not involved with making money or, this craziness of business with them. So your business is like that. Your business is an entity by itself. You may have certain values or certain traits that are important to you. Your friends may know those traits. They know Lucy's a really caring person. It does not mean that Lucy's business, that people that interact with Lucy's business know that the business is a caring business. In fact, the odds are, if you don't structurally create culture in your business, the default culture will suck.